Hello, everybody, and welcome to the When We All Vote Fall Registered and Ready, virtual rally. We're so excited, I can't even talk. My name is Stephanie Young, and I am the Chief Officer for Communications, Culture, and Media Partnerships at When We All Vote, and we are so happy that you are spending your evening with us. Your work is so critical because right now we are seeing voter suppression attacking our democracy in so many different ways that we've never seen before. There's still a big voter registration gap due to COVID-19 and the fact that we can't go door to door. Voters are facing a multitude of misinformation, lies, mistruth, and disinformation about all of the ways in which they can actually vote this November. Safe and secure elections are being threatened by poll worker shortages, postal service delays, and lack of funding, and additional suppression tactics. So we want you to be a part of everything that we are doing to engage with eligible voters in your community. We need you to help us help people make a voting plan, make their plan right now to vote early, in person or by mail, we also must remain focused. I know that there are so many things that are hitting us in a multitude of different directions, but we cannot stop on our mission to register voters and get them ready to vote and make their voices heard this election. So one thing, not to scare you, but I think this is a really good wake-up call. We are just 10 weeks away from Election Day. Can you believe that? That's why it's so important now more than ever that every voter is ready. So here's what I need you to do to get started right now. Please look at the link below. Take a minute. Do you see it? That link, and make sure that you put this link in your social media, text it to 3 friends, and get your loved ones to check their registration and make their voting plan. So take a moment to do that right now, and then talk to even more people about joining our effort. And I'm so glad that I'm joined here by my colleague, Arisa Samani. Arisa.
Hi, Steph, and hello, everyone. My name is Arisa. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the Deputy Director of Organizing and Training at When We All Vote. And I am so excited that you all are here tonight. Whether you are joining us for the first time or you are a seasoned voting squad captain, this call is for you, because we all have a role to play to ensure that our communities are ready to vote before Election Day. So we are going to talk to you tonight about how you can make a huge difference this fall by participating in our fall weeks of action, by helping staff the polls in your communities, and by reaching out to the folks you know to get them registered and ready to vote. Remember, you are the most powerful person to ensure that your friends and family and neighbors have the information they need to make their voices heard this election season. But before we dive into that, Steph, I think it's time for our special guest.
Yes, it is time for our special guest. We are so excited. This is a moment that we've all been waiting for. The person who created this organization and inspires us each and every day. Former First Lady and When We All Vote co-chair, Michelle Obama.
Hey, Stephanie, Arisa, how are you guys doing? Thank you so much. And thank you to everybody who's joining us today. I just want to take a moment to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything you're doing to get your communities registered and ready to vote this year. Whether you're a seasoned voting squad captain or you're getting involved for the first time, I am so grateful that you all are leading this effort. We got some serious all-stars on this call, voting squad captains and My School Votes leaders from all across the country. You all are doing the most important thing that you can possibly be doing right now. You are safeguarding this democracy. You're making it easier for Americans to uphold our most sacred responsibility as citizens, and that is voting. And Lord knows there are a lot of folks out there who wish you all weren't so good at this. There are folks right now wringing their hands that you've already registered thousands of people to vote for the very first time. There are folks who want nothing more than for you and all of your friends and all your neighbors to stay home this election because they want to be the ones making the decisions that affect your lives. And I'm here today to say one thing. Keep your foot on that gas pedal. We have got to reach everyone, every mother who wants something more for her children, every blue collar worker who has worked and sacrificed so that their kids might have a little more. We've got to reach every student striving to make something more of their future, every grandparent who has lived through some of the country's toughest moments and desperately hopes to see us once again rise to meet this one. We've got to reach out. We've got to connect with everyone, no matter where they live, no matter what they look like, no matter how much money they make, because I've said this time and time again, the consequences of sitting out this election could not be more serious. And as Stephanie has said, with so much confusion and misinformation out there, it's going to be on us to set the record straight about registering, about requesting mail-in ballots, about returning those ballots in right away. So double check, triple check, then check one more time that your friends, that your families, your coworkers, anybody in your orbit, your neighbors, have a plan in place to vote early this year. Make sure they've requested those absentee ballots. Make sure they know where and when they're going to vote early. And above all, right now, make sure that everyone you know is registered. In some states, we've only got a little more time, just a little more time to get folks registered. And that's why we're making a huge push around National Voter Registration Day, which is September 22nd. That entire week, we're going to be reaching out and registering as many voters as we can during our week of action. And we can't do this without your help. We need your heart. We need your time. We need your commitment to help us make sure that every American, again, no matter where they live or what they look like, can make their voice heard. Whether you're texting voters across the country or signing up to be a poll worker or directing your neighbors to the When We All Vote resources hub, you are doing the truest form of patriotism. And I can't thank you enough for everything that you're doing. And before I sign off, I just want to remind you what I said in the convention speech. Because the margin of victory or loss in elections are so small, in the last election in one of the swing states, I reminded people it was 2 votes per precinct. And I want you all to sit with that truth, because that wasn't just in this election, because turnout can be so spotty. That's the way all elections throughout the country at all levels are decided, by handfuls of people, handfuls of people, many of whom are folks who have said what we're hearing now: what does it matter if I vote? You know, it's too hard. It doesn't count. I don't believe in this stuff anyway. You know, those are the folks that made the difference in where we are today. So as you guys gear up to do that work, remember, small chunks matter. You know, do not get overwhelmed by feeling that if I can't register 1,000 voters, that I'm doing nothing. Truly, if you find 5 people, 6 people, and not just help them with a plan, but make it your responsibility to actually get them to execute that vote, you are doing more work than you can ever imagine. So I'm just urging all of you to keep it up. Don't get overwhelmed. Every person you register, every single person you register, particularly if you're in a swing state, will make or break this election. So take that to heart. You know, don't be overwhelmed by it. I want you to feel empowered by the fact that a little work can go a long way. So with that in mind, I want to thank you all again. I want to tell you how proud I am of you for being on this call and being with us every step of the way. And all I can say now is let's get to work. I can't wait to talk to you on the other side of all this. Love you all. Take care.
Thank you, Mrs. Obama. Thank you so much for joining us. We really do appreciate that. We hope that you all are inspired in this moment to do even more than you're doing. And now we have another special guest. Her name is Gabrielle Forbes, and she is an ambassador, a part of our My School Votes program, joining us from Miami, Florida. Gabby is a senior at Michael Kropp Senior High School, and she's been an essential part of our Florida My School Votes program since April. Go Florida. In addition to her work with us, Gabby co-founded a project called Letters to the System to amplify the voices of youth who experience systematic racism. That's pretty huge. I don't think I was doing that in high school, so go Gabby. Gabby will also graduate in 2021 and take a gap year in Tanzania. Amazing, where she plans to start a youth theater program and STEM after school program for students. Gabby, you are awesome, and we are so psyched to have you. Take it away, Gabby.
Hi, everybody. My name is Gabby. Thank you, Ms. Stephanie. Guys, I started in April, and joining My School Votes has been the most life-changing experience for me. I've met the most wonderful people, and this is my first campaign ever. I'm gonna be honest, and I'm so happy that it's been with When We All Vote. And before I even get into anything, I just want to give the hugest shout out to every My School Votes student across the country who has been working day in and day out to get our classmates registered. This is a labor of love. This is a team effort. And if we weren't all working together, we would not be as far as we are today. So thank you, guys. And with that being said, everybody and part of When We All Vote comes from different strokes of life. And I always like to say, everyone's here for different reasons, but the same goal. So I want to take this time to share with you guys why I do this work with my full heart, my full passion, and why it just means so much to me to do what I'm doing right now. So, story time. I started in April, like I said, and my friend called me and she was like, hey, my school has a team, like this is a thing. So I joined a welcome call and I was completely blown away. I was like, okay, this is cool. You know, quarantine just started. And I was like, this is something I can do. And I was doing it. I was having fun. I was learning. And I took a major turn. So we're going to take it to May 5th, Monday night. It was 3:00 in the morning. And I was on Instagram. I was just looking at, memes and all that other good stuff. And when I refreshed my page, what was memes, funny videos, celebrities, it immediately became bloodshed, loss, and despair. Now, for those who don't know, May 5th was the day George Floyd was murdered, and his death took over all social media platforms. And I remember scrolling through Instagram and seeing protesters get tear gas thrown in their eyes and them having to pour milk in it to calm their pain down, and interviews of people crying hysterically, and then the actual video itself of George Floyd losing his life. And I remember hearing him repeatedly say, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. And I remember so vividly that I felt like my life was in danger. My body was shaking all over and my heart was palpitating and I couldn't breathe. Like I literally felt my chest closing in watching that. And I remember telling myself, Gabby, like, it's okay. Like, you're not there, but you couldn't tell my body that. That was the most terrifying experience I have ever gone through. And when I was finally able to calm down, the next morning, I looked it up and I was like, what was that? I had my first panic attack. And I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. That was terrifying. And I remember feeling angry, upset, hopeless, sad. And when I see videos like that and people dying innocently, I think about my brother. I have a twin brother. He's 4 minutes older than me, and he means the literal world to me. And I don't know what I would do if he was to come home I was to come home by myself and him not there. And that's a reality for a lot of people who have lost their family members to police brutality. And I remember being so lost. And I was one day thinking, Gabby, you don't have to feel that way, because what you're doing right now can make a difference. It can change. And I realized you're part of When We All Vote. So every day when I come into the calls and meet other younger, wonderful people my age, I think about why I do it. I want to do it because I want to encourage people to vote. I want to encourage people to vote for the change that they want to see. Because although I can participate in this upcoming election because I'm 17, that doesn't stop me from encouraging and empowering my peers to know that you have your right and your voice matters. And I go into When We All Vote every day so driven and so positive because I know that there's change that needs to happen and there's things that needs to get done. And guys, we can do it. We can do it. My school vote started from scratch with small calls and no idea how to even get in schools. And as high school students in the middle of a pandemic, trying to build a virtual program from the ground up on Zoom, like the obstacles were a lot. But despite all of that, organizing is a labor of love. You have to want to do it because it's the right thing to do. We have built an empire of over 1,000 students and 1,000 teachers across 400 schools to lay the foundation of what's to come next. And this month, this is the time to get our students and our classmates registered and voting. Now, if you've been involved with us, it's game time. Guys, we have to get into these senior classes, walk them through the registration link, and get us registered. And if you're new, welcome. Guys, you're going to be in for a good ride. Time is of the essence. And I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking, okay, what can I do? Don't worry, we got you. My School Votes has a welcome call at 7 p.m. every Wednesday. It's led by Akil, Eric, and I. And that is where you will get everything that you need. To join, text student to 56005. I made a little sign for you guys. Text student to 56005. And there you'll get the rundown of everything. I hope I can count on seeing you there. And guys, we cannot wait until we're older to make change, because there will be a lot of people that will try to put a limit on us. But guys, this generation has been the most proactive in recorded history, and we can get this done. You don't have to wait till you're an adult to get this. And not only that, to all the adults watching, your support is the most important for us because you're the ones we look up to. So when we go have these endeavors and these aspirations, having an adult say, yeah, you got this, it just makes it a whole lot better. And guys, know that you're not alone. And if you feel that you are not. This is a team across the entire country. And I've been fortunate to meet so many wonderful people that I would have never met. And honestly, this is the place to be. If you're looking for a program that valued your opinion and valued what you thought as a minor and know that your potential is boundless, thank you for joining this call because you found it. You really did. And no matter whether you're a student, an adult, no matter who you are, what you've gone through, what you've experienced, or how you even got to this call, you're here because you know that those who don't fight to protect their rights risk losing it. And with that being said, guys, I'll pass it to Miss Arissa.
Gabby, thank you so much for your wisdom, your inspiration, and your wise words. Your voice, you're right. Your voice matters, and your voice should matter to every single elected official in this country. So that's why, everyone, we gotta turn out. We gotta vote, because when we all vote, we take our power back. You heard Mrs. Obama, we can't do this without you. And that is why we all have a role to play in the next 10 weeks. So we're going to talk to you tonight about our strategy this fall and how you can be involved and be part of this fight with us. To help me talk about that, I am joined by my friend and my partner in facilitation tonight, Miss Emma Welsh-Huggins. Emma, say hello to everyone and tell us what we're doing tonight.
Thanks so much, Arisa, and hello, everyone. My name is Emma Welsh-Huggins. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the Deputy Organizing Director of When We All Vote. I am so excited to talk about everything that you can do to make a difference as we approach Election Day. There are 3 ways that you can take action with us to make a big difference this election season, and we'll talk about all of them in the next few minutes. First, by participating in one of our fall weeks of action. Second, by helping staff the polls in your communities. And third, by reaching out to the folks that you know to help get them registered and ready to vote. So let's dive in. Let's talk about how you can take action with us this fall, including on Election Day. This fall, we're holding 3 major weeks of action where we will all work together to help reach our goals. First up is our September voter registration week of action from September 20th to 27th. Coinciding with Voter Registration Day on September 22nd, the goal of this week is to host or participate in virtual and COVID-safe events in your community to reach out to and register as many voters as possible before voter registration deadlines. Next up is our October Make a Plan week of action from October 4th to 11th. During this week, When We All Vote will be working to reach voters and encourage them to make their plan to vote early in person or by mail. And October 18th through 25th is our Early Vote Week of action. Coinciding with Vote Early Day, the goal of this week is to encourage as many of our friends and family to vote early by organizing Vote Together celebrations, voting a community-driven celebratory activity. We hope that you will participate in all of these important weeks of action, but the first step is to sign up to host your own voter registration event or to sign up to participate in a voter registration event near you during our September week of action. By committing to host or participate in voter registration events or early vote events, you can help ensure that your friends, your family, and your community are registered to vote. You can get started today by heading to weall.vote/vol resources to learn how you can mobilize your community through these weeks of action. And it doesn't stop with these weeks of action. We'll be organizing all throughout the fall and even into Election Day. Back to you, Arisa, to hear more about some of our exciting action opportunities.
Thank you, Emma. And everyone, as part of our efforts to ensure a safe and fair election for all voters, we've launched an effort to recruit thousands of committed citizens like you to serve as poll workers in your communities. This year, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we are facing an unprecedented shortage of poll workers. That could lead to polling place closures and long lines at polling locations. And all of that could create unfair and unsafe barriers to voters across the country, particularly in communities of color. So it will take all of us, ordinary citizens, to make sure that everybody's vote is counted. We need you to commit to being a poll worker in your community on Election Day. So sign up to be a poll worker tonight at weall.vote/vol resources. And remember what Mrs. Obama said, folks, we also have to make sure that our loved ones and the people we know are ready to vote. And we have to check once, twice, and 3 times, because research shows that reaching out to people in our networks is the most effective ways to take action because you are a trusted messenger. So in the spirit of making sure everyone in our networks is registered to vote, we are excited to announce the Register 10 Challenge, where you could win the chance to virtually hang out with Mrs. Michelle Obama. We can make that happen. Yes, for real. Here is how it works. 1, pledge to register 10 of your friends or family or neighbors to vote this fall. When you sign that pledge, you'll receive an email with a unique voter registration link. Then you'll send messages with that unique link to as many people as you can and encourage them to make sure that their voter registration is up to date. We have included a sample text message that you can use on Outvote, but texting is only one way to reach out to your networks. So Facebook message them, call them, meet them where they are. Just remember that as you're completing this challenge, refer voters to your unique voter registration link so that you can track how many people you are able to register. And by pledging to register 10 people, just by pledging, you will be entered into a raffle where 20 lucky winners will be selected to virtually hang out with Michelle Obama on Tuesday, September 22nd. So make that pledge tonight. Do it tonight at weall.vote/vol resources. Back to you, Emma.
Thanks, Arisa. And as you're thinking about who to reach out to, remember everyone. Leave no stone unturned as you are brainstorming who is in your network and who might need to hear from you about voting. Think about folks that you know who might be newly eligible voters, like college students and friends and family that have had big life changes, like a move or a name change. These folks might need to update their voter registration. Then think about anyone that you know who needs to learn about whether they can vote by mail this fall and how. Make a list of all of these people. And once you have that list and you've checked it twice, what do these conversations look like? You'll want to reach out via text, social media, email, and phone, however you would usually talk to this person. It's important to note that the most effective way to have these conversations with your friends and family is to use multiple ways of reaching out. We've heard from a lot of folks who shared that when it comes to reaching out to their networks, they're not sure where to start. But here's one really important mindset to consider. Never assume that everyone you know is registered to vote or if they have made a plan to vote. For example, in 2018, maybe you asked your neighbor or your nephew if they were registered to vote, and they told you that they were. But when they showed up to vote on election day, they found out that they had been removed from the voter rolls. This actually happened in Georgia, where many voters went to vote and found out that they had been purged unknowingly from the voter rolls. It's always better to encourage everyone that you know to confirm and check their registration, especially for those that may have moved or changed their name. That is why we are encouraging you to reach out to your personal connections, your book club, family, sorority, place of worship, and your social media networks. Everyone in your community needs to hear from you about why it's important to check their voter registration status, get registered, and make a plan to vote. This friend-to-friend, family-to-family, community member to community member outreach is critical because it works.
And it works because trust goes a long way when it comes to having these conversations and motivating us to act. Being a trusted messenger of information on how to get ready to vote is key to reaching people who are feeling overwhelmed, frustrated, or disengaged from the process. Your relationship helps you cut through the noise around this election and have a real conversation. This is especially important with all of the misinformation that Stephanie talked about that is out there and that is designed to confuse people. So we need that trust now more than ever, because it is our personal relationships with the people that we know that often motivate us to act. Your personal relationships will also help you reach people based on your shared values and your shared passions. So for example, if your sister has been active in the rallies to protect Black lives, you might motivate her by sharing intentional voting disparities around race in this country. Or if your book club just read a book about education, you might approach a voting conversation with them by talking about what elected positions are on the ballot this year, including your local school board. Lastly, asking effective questions is a good way to engage people and get them to think critically about voting and to help them make a plan to vote.
Consider asking the following questions in your conversations. When was the last time you updated your voter registration? Have you moved recently? Is your registration reflective of your most current address? Have you considered the different options to vote early? Will you vote early, by mail, or in person? These questions will help break through any concerns that you might get when talking to your community about voting. Next up, we're going to talk about some of the resources that we have available to help you have these important conversations. All right, folks, whether you've been volunteering with us for a long time or this is your first time joining us, we have all the resources you need to make a big impact this election season. For resources to get involved with our weeks of action, to have those conversations with your network and more, you can check out our volunteer resources page at weall.vote/volresources. Second, don't hesitate to direct voters to call 866-OUR-VOTE with specific state-based and voter protection questions. Lastly, utilize our voter resource at weall.vote/hub. Our hub is a fantastic one-stop shop where you can check your registration, make a plan to vote early in person, request a ballot to vote by mail, and research your ballot. So please use this tool in your important work to register voters in your communities. And if you have questions about anything that we've covered tonight, email us at volunteers@whenweallvote.org for one-on-one help, where our team is on deck to provide support as you hold events and register voters in your communities. Another tool that we have for you is our phone number at When We All Vote. You can text the word SQUAD, that's SQUAD, to 310-622-8683 to receive messages and important updates from our When We All Vote team. Again, that's SQUAD to 310-622-8683. This will be super helpful as we move closer and closer to Election Day. Arisa, can you remind us what we're asking volunteers to do tonight?
Yes, I can, Emma. Remember, everyone, we are asking you to do these things tonight. 1, sign up to join our weeks of action to make a big impact this election season. Remember, it will take all of us, ordinary citizens, to make sure that everyone's vote is counted. So join us in our weeks of action to mobilize voters before Election Day. 2, join our Register 10 challenge to win a chance to virtually hang out with Michelle Obama. Remember, you are the most powerful person to make sure that your friends and family are registered and ready to vote and to mobilize your communities. 3rd, sign up to be a poll worker. Let's do everything in our power to ensure that every voter can make their voice heard on Election Day. And that starts by serving our communities. Remember, you can do all of these things at weall.vote/volresources. And with your help, we can make sure that everyone is able to make their voice heard this election season.
The 4th thing that you can do tonight to make a huge difference from home is sign up to be on our When We All Vote texting team. In the midst of a pandemic, just days before ballots are cast in states across the country, texting is one of the most effective ways to reach voters where they are. If you're wondering what more you can do to make a difference this election season, sign up to join our texting team at weall.vote/volresources. And with that, it is time to get to work.
Thank you for being here tonight. You heard Mrs. Obama. It is on all of us to do the work to get our communities registered and ready to vote. With your help, We will move towards registering hundreds of thousands of voters this election season. We will change our communities, and we will be the change that we want to see in our country. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for fighting and organizing and being the best organizers I know. It is our turn to make history, and together I know we will. Let's get to work.
Thank you, everyone.